Good morning and welcome into Mornings on Main Street as you are looking live at downtown Nashville Broadway and Fifth Avenue. It is a little overcast outside, but pretty much exactly what you would expect for the Monday after Thanksgiving. Hope you guys had a fantastic holiday weekend. I know I did, and so glad to be back with you here on this Monday morning, getting you ready for the final week of this iteration of Mornings on Main Street. It's a little bittersweet this week is, but yeah, looking forward to what's coming your way next month, starting December 5th. It's going to be a lot of fun. Trust me, you're going to want to tune in next week. But before we get into anything else, we welcome in Justin Cooley. Justin, what's up, buddy?
Hey man, just super sad about yesterday, the
I
Titans
hear
game.
you.
But I did have a good holiday weekend. I'm glad to hear you did as well. How was the meal? How was it? It was different, right? With this
It,
time?
it was really different. So what we did is, we had our meal delivered by Grecian Family Restaurant. They were kind enough to come out here and bring us some plates for me and the fam.
Nice.
It included some turkey, little dressing, had some broccoli casserole, some green beans. Let's see, there was something else, and I can't remember. Oh goodness, off the top of my, I can't remember exactly what else there would be. There were some sweet
Dessert?
potatoes. Some sweet potatoes were in there.
Okay.
And
Already sounds fire though,
yeah,
regardless.
they brought us a few different types of bread too. It was interesting because like there was like this big like sandwich roll it looked like, and then there was like you know a piece of the really thinly sliced like bread you get at the grocery store, not like sandwich bread, but like
Right.
when you go to the bakery and you get the really nice big long slice of bread, you know what I'm talking about?
Yes. Uh
Right?
uh yes, like sourdough kinda.
It looks kinda like sourdough, but it wasn't. So
Gotcha.
they brought us some of that. Now, we did not partake of that because what we did is we made a few extra things,
All
to
right.
go along with it. So I made the corn casserole that I normally make. We made cornbread. Sarah made cornbread, and we also had some turnip greens
Nice.
just to, kinda throw some goodness in there,
Oh,
and
you gotta get the healthy stuff.
well, yeah, the way I cook turnip greens, there's nothing healthy about them. Uh,
Just to have some
so
good green on the plate, to color cut to really fill out the color.
it really had yeah, that was exactly what it was for. That was pretty much it. I mean, and then they brought, like, they brought us a blackberry cobbler, a couple pieces of apple pie, a piece of pecan pie. Like, they brought all these desserts for us to choose from. So,
Yum.
like, they brought, and then I had bought a sweet potato pie from Walmart. The Patty LaBelle sweet potato pies are delicious. I'm just
Patty
here to
LaBelle
tell you.
does they do it right.
I
They really
mean,
do.
it's delicious.
Delicious.
Uh, so yeah, I mean,
Tips
we made deviled eggs too. So
Oh, very good classic. I
you
did something a little different for my dessert this year. We didn't do pumpkin pie, we did peanut butter pie, and it
big
was
fan of peanut butter
outstanding.
pie.
Yeah, it was great. So,
Big fan. So I'm here for that. I'm here for that.
cool.
Uh, what else did you guys have?
We had, green beans as well. I've grown over time to liking those. I used to be, as a kid, one of those stupid little kids running around not wanting to eat anything green. But I've really found out later in life that green beans are that one. They're great. Cooked right, of
If
course, with a
cooked
lot of butter.
correctly, they can be very, very good.
Right,
Absolutely.
when you're older and you're able to, like, put stuff in there that makes it unhealthy, then it's good.
Exactly.
When you're smart yeah,
It's like the way I cook those Brussels sprouts with brown sugar and bacon. Like, you can't screw that
exactly,
up. You put
exactly.
enough brown sugar and bacon on anything, it'll taste good.
Yeah, exactly. If it doesn't taste good yet, more.
More. Exactly. And we just keep going. That's
Right.
how it works.
Guess what? But,
I
yeah,
feel
I
you
had
there.
salad as well, getting all my greens out of the way, got mashed potatoes, classic, always on there on the plate, and so I think I might have said this either to you or Zach, I can't remember, but the Hawaiian rolls,
Mhm.
they're not safe around me, I will go to the pan. I will locate where they're all coming from, and just scoop them on my plate, especially when they're cooked just a little bit. So when you put the butter on there, it melts, man.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
We use the Hawaiian rolls too. Do you get the King's Hawaiian?
Oh yeah. Yes. With the orange
So
pack.
so Sarah Lee has a Hawaiian roll.
She's crazy.
She's a little, and it's not
Wow.
really, it's not as good as the King's Hawaiian. They're not as sweet,
Really?
but
That might be a
we
good thing.
we used them last night for slider rolls because I thought we had hamburger buns. I started cooking hamburgers and then realized we didn't have any buns. So
Classic.
I had to just
That's
and
a
I
really good idea, though. That's a good, nice pivot.
right. Well, it worked out really well because we had frozen some hamburger meat a long time ago, and I was like, "What are we gonna eat for dinner tonight?" And I didn't have anything
There's no
in there,
food.
so I was like, "Well, I guess we'll thaw this hamburger meat out." So we did, but it was in a Ziploc, so it was all like flattened out.
Mm,
So I just threw it on the griddle flat and let it cook, and then I cut it up into the little squares.
that's so good, man. Were
It's
they
kind of
good?
like yeah, it was kind of like crystals almost
Yeah, like we're
without
gonna
without the gut bomb.
yeah. Or we're going so late at night.
Exactly. You don't want to do that either.
Right.
Yeah, it's so yeah, it was a good weekend. I had a lot of football.
A lot of
Great, and
football.
Thursday was a great NFL day.
It really
I mean,
was,
all
man.
3
Such good
were really good.
games. They
All
really
3
were.
games were great, and you kind of feel bad for the Lions, but they did it to themselves.
But they made the Bills look once again penetrable,
Yeah, yeah,
you know?
absolutely. So
So shout out to them. Love them. I want them to do well, but not too great, you know?
yeah, exactly. Kind of want the. I mean, if anyone was going to be good, I would hope the Lions would be good occasionally.
They
Yeah,
have
just
never been good in my whole lifetime.
like no, it's just been bad.
Sad. I know. Yeah.
I feel for them. I really do. I feel for folks like Brady McAtamney.
Is he a
Well, he's from
fan?
Detroit, so yeah, big
Oh,
Lions fan.
man. You know that whenever if they, which I'm sure one year eventually they'll get it together and make a run, those fans, they deserve it.
Oh yeah, and
They deserve it.
one day, it's like when the Tigers won the World Series the one year with Verlander.
There
It's
you go.
like it
It's
was all
possible.
worth it. It was all worth it.
Yeah, exactly.
But good show lined up for you. We're going to take you back to uh, there was an episode of This Week in Clarksville that aired October 20th. We ran an interview from that show, but this was actually a bonus interview, and it was about it was it's kind of about some food, and food is good, especially with holidays coming up, and we've got a lot
It
to
is
get
good.
to. I don't know if you guys have seen it, but there will be a massive Mrs. Cheap coming out this week holiday guide from around Middle Tennessee, and it's pretty impressive. So we'll
You
go
got me
through
already.
that. Yeah, we'll go through that later this week. But we've also got Terry who will join us tomorrow. Terry McCormick on Tighten Up Tuesday. But today we take a look back at this week in Clarksville. Maybe you can, maybe you will be inspired to make a chess pie. I'm
Okay.
a big fan of chess cakes. So
Anything with pie,
chess
man.
pie, big fan. But all of that, and of course, this week or this national calendar day and all of that. So plenty to get to. But before we do anything else, we want to, of course, get to our weather report today.
There's we finally
That's
got a beginning song for it. Did you like that?
I did.
Okay, cool. So the weather for today is brought to you by Possibly You. You could sponsor this if you want. As Chris said, the way the show is formatted will only last throughout this week, but the weather is always a thing. So hit us up
That's
if
right.
you want. There's a pitch right there, you know. And today's weather is very gloomy, as it should be. We all deserve it. The Titans lost. The high is 58, the low is 45. That's not a huge difference, but because it's overcast, it's cold. You know what I mean? Like if it was sunny 58, that's actually like go golf weather, but it's not. So it's gloomy. 8% chance of rain, 32% humidity, UV index 3 out of 10. let's try to all bring the positivity, change the weather, get this thing hot again, because I'm not enjoying the cold. I'm not gonna lie. It hasn't been that bad though lately. And today's another example, but it feels like it's gonna get cold soon and stay cold. Back to you, Chris.
You're probably not wrong.
You know what I mean? It feels like we're right on the cusp, which is a wild word.
And I'm not a huge fan.
No.
I'm just not. So just not a huge fan of cold.
I feel you, man.
And this time of year is just weird. Like look, I would rather be super cold than super hot.
That's true.
Mainly because you can always put more clothes on. You can only take so many off before you go to jail.
No matter if you're in the Nelly song.
Yeah, it doesn't matter how hot it is. If you start taking clothes off, they might take you to jail.
Yeah. There are only a few places you can do this.
That's right. A look now at your Nashville traffic. Traffic is brought to you by 54, the Nashville area nonprofit serving older adults. They're a proud partner with the All of Us research program of the National Institutes of Health. Learn how you can help change the future of health by visiting the website joinallofus.org/50forward. Looking around Nashville right now, not a lot to talk about. There's obviously some merging delays at our normal 440-40 split at Spence Lane there. You can see, but that looks like it's rolling pretty well.
It really does.
So
I don't know why I always go to this one.
Well, that's usually where traffic is. There's a little bit of traffic on 24. I'm sorry, coming into town on 40 eastbound or westbound. I'm sorry. I'm not sure if you can see. There's a little traffic right in the area. Just I don't know. Just before you get to the downtown loop.
Right. Okay.
It's right here on 24 and 40 westbound.
Right.
Which is where you were at. No, that's
where I was right here.
Yeah, but it's down to the right. I wish I could show you.
This is so bad.
No, but there's just some slow moving traffic, but that's about it. You see the big yellow line right here on the kind of the right hand side.
Yeah.
Yeah, that right there. There's just some traffic. I don't know what's going on.
I didn't know if we were going to land that plane.
Kessler's Lane. There we go. What is that? Is that?
It looks like somebody's hugging. Is that a sidewalk?
Is something on the camera? Oh no, that's a light in the middle of the.
Oh yeah.
I was like, what in the world is that?
Transformer. He's a mid-transformer.
But yeah, that literally, like, there's not much else to talk about. 2465 is fine. Downtown Loop is
right back
clear. It's like, I mean, seriously, there's nothing going on. So, hey, if you're out there driving, enjoy.
Yeah, exactly. Don't cause anything.
Yeah,
that was bad.
Please don't. Please don't be that guy.
Be nice.
Don't be that person.
Yeah, let people over, or don't.
Or don't. But that is a look at your traffic. We'll have today's top 3 stories coming up right here on Mornings on Main Street in just a few moments. But hope you guys have a wonderful Monday and are having a wonderful Monday. We will be right back with your top 3 stories right after this.
When you're thinking about golf, consider Riverside Golf Links. Under new ownership, the course has improved dramatically. It's now 27 holes, complemented by a 9-hole executive course. Book a tee time now at 615-847-5074 and get ready to enjoy the beauty of golf in the Old Hickory area at Riverside Golf Links.
Hey, this is George Plaster, and I'm excited to announce that the second annual Plaster and Friends Celebrity Bowling Night is going to happen Monday, November the 28th at the Hermitage Strike and Spare. The 3 charities that will benefit are Last Minute Toy Store, Martha O'Brien Center, and Stars. And our intention is to get them that money so it can do the most amount of good at Christmas time. Now, here's where I need your help. I need you to sign up to play in the most fun charity event you've ever been involved in. Imagine 64 foursomes with 64 sports personalities in the area. As a single player, it's $200. If you get a foursome, it's $800. And what I want you to do is reach out to me via email, plastergeorge@gmail.com, and we'll get you signed up and get you ready and raring to go. Again, that's plastergeorge@gmail.com for a night you will never forget.
For Dustin Timmons and Joey Donnelly, they welcome every opportunity to serve and satisfy their clients. Whether you are looking to build your dream home or renovate your current home, their team will ensure that every client and remodel is unique, luxurious, completed on time, and within budget. Contact them today to set an appointment for a free consultation or to view some of their completed projects by logging on to DonnellyTimmons.com.
At Sumner Funeral and Cremation, our mission is to serve families as our own, celebrate the life of their loved one, and help begin the healing process.
My whole family, including my wife and my mom and siblings, were very happy with the treatment that we received. I would highly recommend Sumner Funeral and Cremation.
We offer funeral, burial, cremations, and pre-planning services.
Sumner Funeral and Cremation. Traditional, affordable, dignified. SumnerFuneral.com.
I'm Bart Durham.
I was sworn in as a lawyer in 1963, and I've been working as a lawyer since then.
We're a firm that does exclusively personal injury, a lot of tractor-trailer crashes. Insurance companies will open up their checkbooks when you force them to.
We have systems that work.
We get the most money for our clients in the shortest amount of time.
I'm Blair Durham. My dad and I want to help. Give us a call at 615-242-9000.
Ooh, what a beautiful day in Nashville. As you can see, I see a dumpster over there in front of Ernest Tubbs Record Shop, and that's probably breaking my heart because they're probably taking things out of there, and it's probably really sad.
No, not Ernest.
It breaks my heart, man. That's a Nashville icon.
Do you think they're getting rid of records?
Yeah, they're getting rid of everything. Obviously, they're not getting rid of the records, but they are gutting the building, and it's
I did not know this.
Sad day.
That is sad. What a gloomy you know what? It's because the Titans lost. Everything comes back to that.
Everything's brutal. Oh man, what a terrible day. Hey, tonight, Justin, you will be you'll be
knocking down the pins.
Well, hopefully.
Well, attempting to.
You'll be rolling the ball. Now, what happens
rolling the ball towards the vicinity of where it needs to go?
What happens after that? Who knows?
But I do hear that we get bumpers. No, I'm just kidding. I'm gonna assume bumpers. I'm gonna bring my own BYOB.
bring your own bumpers. That would be. You show up with because there are some places that have the bumpers that just kind of pull out.
Yeah, the easy ones.
They pull out into the gutter. But back when I was a kid, I don't know if you've ever seen this. Have you ever seen the bumpers that they actually have to blow up?
No.
So there's it's like a big balloon that just fits into the gutter, and then they blow it up with.
So they bounce off the.
Yeah, it would just bounce off these big balloons essentially. So that you could actually bring those. You just show up.
That actually sounds fun. It's like I just blow them up and take them down for other people's turn.
Yeah, exactly. You just kind of slide them back when it's not your go anymore.
I have a certificate of bumpers for me. It's notarized. Why is it notarized?
If you need a notary, let me know. My wife.
Are you a notary?
My wife.
Your wife is? That's awesome. So, are you a notary by association?
I'm not notary by association.
You don't get a stamp?
Oh, no, I don't get a stamp. It's really sad.
That's super disappointing.
She has one. I guess I could use it.
Well, I mean, not anymore. You're on the radar. That's what they look for.
Exactly. They're scanning the internet for us.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it should be fun tonight. Should be a lot of fun with George and all kinds of different celebrities. And
Right. I wonder who our celebrity is, even though I don't want to.
sir, you are the celebrity.
That's what
You
I'm
aren't
saying.
aware.
It's because you got to get good bowlers and then the celebrity. It's like I don't fit the criteria of the other thing. So
I must be the celebrity.
and they're like, no, actually, you're not even invited.
What happened?
What do you mean? I thought that I sent an email and they're like,
I
yeah, we
was-
talked to you.
I sent the email. I got this notarized invitation in the mail.
Actually, no, I could probably have a notary on the phone in like 2 seconds. Chris, you need the one.
No, anyway. Well, let's look at today's top 3 stories.
Do it.
And we'll start with the residents at the Brookmead homeless encampment on Charlotte Pike. They've been notified of additional housing options as Metro starts the process of closing the camp. According to Metro officials, the city has a goal of having the roughly 45 individuals in the encampment housed by Christmas. They expect to close the camp by January 1st. A decision was made to prioritize Brookmead and the encampment by the soccer fields on Edmondson Pike by the encampment prioritization team. Around 25 individuals live in the soccer fields encampment and will be notified of their housing options in the coming weeks. The EPT, comprised of Homelessness Planning Council members, finalized guidelines this August on how to prioritize and close the encampments. Protocols included the vulnerability of encampment residents, the location of the camp, and dangerous conditions in the camp. This year, Brookmead has had 54 emergency medical calls, including 16 overdoses, 17 fire calls, and 10 violent crime reports. The soccer fields camp has had 18 emergency medical calls and 5 fire calls. The vulnerability of the population carries the most weight in the prioritization decision, according to the EPT plan, which is based on a similar plan from Houston, Texas. In October, the Metro Council passed Mayor John Cooper's $50 million plan to address homelessness. The money came from the ARPA funds and included $25 million for developers to quickly increase the number of deeply affordable units available, $9 million for temporary gap housing, and $9 million for wraparound services, and $7 million toward lowering barriers to housing access. Now, as new temporary housing becomes available, Metro will continue to follow recommendations of the EPT to house their chronically homeless individuals in Nashville's encampments. Outreach workers from Metro and other organizations use a system called coordinated entry to provide and prioritize individuals experiencing homelessness and options that are available to them. The list is not fixed, but is instead based on what resources are available at the time and the vulnerability of the individual. Full story on mainstreet-nashville.com from Ashley Parham. We go now to the city of Portland, where the Portland City Council completed an agreement with the White House Utility District on a 3-year deal to purchase water, with a second reading passage at the November 7th meeting of the Board of Mayor and Aldermen. Portland's purchase of water comes at a wholesale price, according to the ordinance, which was passed unanimously in first reading at the October 17th meeting. Portland has had for several years been searching for a long-term solution for additional water due to growth not only in the city but also in surrounding areas that the Portland water supply serves, such as Oak Grove, the western edge of Westmoreland, and lots of rural areas just on the outskirts of Portland that go west into Robertson County and north to the Tennessee state line. The city's been steadily growing with a population now of more than 13,000. More water has been needed to keep up with the growth that has already taken place and future growth that is on the horizon in the Portland area. The infusion of water from White House will also help curtail any potential shortages in periods over the year where there could be drought-like conditions, such as what took place this past summer. Portland Utilities Director Brian Price said the deal with WHUD is not a permanent solution to Portland's water situation, but does help tremendously in the short term. We're looking at multiple options regarding water long term, but this is a temporary option that will guarantee we are at capacity in our system. According to the agreement, White House Utility District has agreed to provide the first year 150,000 gallons of water per day. In the second year, the amount decreases to 125,000 gallons per day. And the final year, it will supply 100,000 gallons per day. As part of the agreement, the city of Portland has requirements and must make a 20% payment toward the upgrade of 2 existing pumps within its system at the Highway 109 and New Deal water booster stations. Portland is also responsible for replacing 2 existing water meters at the Fountainhead Road delivery site and must also include SCADA monitoring at the existing Fountainhead Road delivery site. Good thing is they've got water. Do you know what they say, Justin, about temporary solutions?
They're like butts. Everybody's got one.
No.
Oh.
Close though. There's nothing more permanent than a temporary solution.
Whoa, that's deep, dude. I like that though.
If it's a solution, why are we trying to? If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Well, we have fixed it. So why would, if it's not broke now, why would we continue to try to fix it?
I'm not even going to pay attention to it ever. That's why I have duct
It's
tape on my car
solved.
still.
It has been solutioned.
Yeah, there's no problem fixing needed, alas.
Exactly.
Gorilla Glue is a thing.
Oh, man. And finally, we go to Sumner County, where county leaders have voted to give the Comer Barn back to Rogers Group. Now, 14 months after offering the 1930s era Comer Barn as a centerpiece for a $3.5 million agriculture STEM center for Sumner County schools, county leaders voted on Monday to rescind the offer and deed the barn back to its original owner. And that's an interesting comment, and we'll get to it in just a minute. Rogers Group, who operates the quarry on the adjacent land between Hendersonville and Gallatin, deeded the 8,500 square feet structure and easements to the county in March of 2016. A minority of commissioners questioned the transaction at the time, arguing the agreement between the county mayor Anthony Holt and Rogers Group would cost taxpayers millions of dollars to repair or renovate of the dilapidated structure. In August 2020, a majority of commissioners voted to appropriate $500,000 toward preserving the barn, half of the money coming from a state grant, the other half coming from the county's hospital fund earmarked for economic development. The money was never spent, according to Finance Director David Lawing. Now, in September of 2021, the Commission and Board of Education approved resolutions that would allow the transfer of the barn to the school district. Rogers Group would donate approximately 42 acres to the county, and the county would keep 3 to 4 acres that the Comer House, currently the home of the county's tourism office, sits on, and transfer the remaining property, including the barn, to the school system. According to interim law director Ben Allen, there's been no movement from Rogers Group to deed the property over to the county since both bodies' approval. So they gave them the house, but not the land. I don't know. It's very weird. A new wave of county commissioners, many of whom campaign on being fiscally conservative, took office September 1st. Since then, many of the previous commission's actions have come under scrutiny, including the Comer Barn Agreement. In a meeting on November 7th, Jeremy Mansfield, who represents District 16, proposed a resolution that rescinds all previous actions and resolutions of the commission accepting ownership of the barn. It also directs that the grant funding be sent back to the state, and any money donated will be given back as well. There's no reason the school board needs to be spending $5 to $15 million to renovate the property when we don't have money to build schools. Mansfield's resolution passed unanimously. The budget committee passed it the same night as well. On Monday, several citizens spoke in favor of the resolution, including Jim Vaughn, District 6 Commissioner, who basically said, "Tonight, you have the unique privilege of doing the right thing because this will save taxpayers millions of dollars." That resolution passed 20-1 with no discussion. Baker Ring of District 8 was the only no vote. Ben Allen said on Tuesday there are no legal issues with the county deeding the barn and surrounding 5 acres back to the Rogers Group. The previous deed said that if the county did not use the barn or if it fell into disrepair, it could revert back to the company. Deanne DeWitt, who was the main proponent of the barn, is a former commissioner, and she said that she and a nonprofit she founded in 2020, the Preservation Fund, will continue to fight for the barn's future. So there you go.
Is it haunted? It looks haunted, man.
It looks like it could be. I don't know if it is.
Okay.
But
just that door and the bricks, and it just looks like some stuff happened. It's a nice barn, though. Could be.
I was going to say, it really looks like it could be a beautiful piece of property.
Yeah, like a venue for weddings.
But it just, I mean,
but
$5 to $15 million to keep it. I don't feel like that's.
Put it towards the Titan Stadium, or this could be the training facility. No, I'm just kidding. No, that's cool though. Like that they recognize that was going to really not be worth it. I guess is that.
Yeah, I mean, it probably would in the end, but it's really hard to justify spending that kind of money if you're you need to build schools in Sumner County. Every county in Middle Tennessee needs to build schools.
That's
true. And none of them have the money to do it.
Right. And you're right. Like, it would be cool until someone raised the concern, which I'm sure would happen early on. Hey, maybe we should build a school instead.
Exactly.
How
And
do you
so,
justify it? It's like all gone now.
yeah, we're 15 million short. Well, if we hadn't done the Comer barn,
But isn't it cool though?
I mean, it was going to be used for school stuff and like STEM projects and whatnot, but it wasn't a viable option. And sometimes you just have to understand that some things need to be privately funded, and others, this is one of those things.
Yeah, if the Rogers Group
and that
back to
nonprofit, if the nonprofit wants to, raise the 15 million, go
by
for
all
it.
means, get it notarized and get it done.
Exactly. Nice callback. All right, we are going to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll take a look back at a This Week in Clarksville segment from October 20th. Again, Stephanie Miller hosting This Week in Clarksville, and you're going to want to definitely get yourself acquainted with her. She's awesome, and you can always watch This Week in Clarksville on our Main Street Media platforms on Wednesdays, I believe.
Yes,
I believe it comes out on Wednesdays.
Yep.
So yeah, go check that out. But we'll come back with an excerpt from This Week in Clarksville, and then we'll be back with National Calendar Day and
we'll send you on
say
your way.
goodbye. That's right. So we'll be right back right after this on Mornings on Main Street.
The high school football season is here, and nobody handles Friday nights better than Main Street Media. Here's Zach Womble with details.
That's the name of the game here at Main Street Media and Main Street Preps. Is we've been doing this for a long time now, and I think you hit on it. We've got an army of reporters across all of Middle Tennessee. I think there's about 130 schools in the Middle Tennessee area, and we try to cover all of them. We cover about 11, 12 counties at this point. And those Friday night shows, it's we're gonna show that off. We're gonna showcase the talent that we have on the field with reporters across several mid-state games on the weekly basis. So whether you're in Williamson County, whether you're in Giles County or Murray County or Montgomery or Robertson or anywhere in between, we're gonna have you covered from 6 to 11.
Friday Night Live is presented by the Tennessee Highway Safety Office, where fans don't let fans drive drunk.
This is Eric Berner with Rockcastle Wealth Advisors. I help people in the pursuit of making their money live as long as they do. People hire me because I use a customized, individualized, and personal approach for the person I'm working with. Everyone's situation is different. If you've lost a spouse or a parent and want to make sure your inheritance is utilized and does not just disappear, I can help with that. Call me at 615-235-1058 or email eric@rockcastlewealth.com.
Buddy Allen, it's a tradition. Come on into our store. Buddy Allen, it's a heritage for 40 years and more. What makes a house kind of special? Close friends walking in the door. Flowers blooming in the springtime and little children playing on a Buddy Allen floor.
This is attorney Bart Durham, and this is me. I'm Aaliyah. Keeping in good physical condition is really important to me. But when I had a wreck with a tractor trailer truck that hurt my legs so bad I couldn't work for almost a year, I knew I needed a lawyer that understood tractor trailer cases. So I called Bart. Bart gets millions of dollars for his clients every year.
At Bart Durham Injury Law, we've handled hundreds of tractor trailer cases.
My dad and I want to help. Give us a call at 615-242-9000.
It's a spot many know here in Clarksville. It is a place where everyone can go to get a sweet treat, and I'm talking about Delectable Sweets. I'm sitting here with the owner of Delectable Sweets, Heather Fassett. First off, Heather, thank you so much for sitting down with me. You were extremely busy all the time. We've been talking in the in-between, and she bakes a lot.
Yeah, a lot.
Well, tell me about your store, because again, a lot of people know your store, but you've kind of transitioned out of that more or less into a food truck.
Yeah, absolutely. So with things kind of slowing down on the storefront, we decided we wanted to kind of go a different route, and we wanted to get a food trailer out there. Our reach is much greater with a food trailer. We can go to other cities, we go to other states, we go to Kentucky. We're licensed for business in both Hopkinsville and Cadiz so far in Kentucky, as well as here in Clarksville. And it allows us to bring food to festivals that you don't normally find there. So normally if you're diabetic or celiac and you go to a festival and you see food trailers, you're lucky if you can find anything to eat. Or if you're low carb, if you're a keto dieter, it can be hard as well. And so all the products that we make, we're a completely gluten-free facility. We don't use sugar, we don't use dyes, preservatives, nitrates, hormones, so that it's a clean enough line of product where cancer patients can indulge as well.
That's absolutely amazing. And you see the food, like you're seeing video or close-up of what's sitting here in front of me. It looks amazing. It smells amazing. I can't wait to taste it. But you know, as we're talking about going to the food truck about the pandemic, like other small business owners, you have struggled to keep the business going.
Absolutely, absolutely. There was times where it felt like it was just kind of one hit after another. Within our first 6 months open, we were broken into. We had our front door smashed out and all of our electronics stolen. And we've actually had somebody this year that tried to break in through the back as well. And so we have those little things, as well as, you know, the difficulties with trying to get a hold of supplies during the pandemic. I had a major injury for a while. It was a C5, C6 injury with bursitis, frozen shoulder, and shoulder impingement syndrome all at the same time, and I'm the only baker. So my husband at the time was active duty military, and he cashed in all of his leave to come and be my left arm so that we could continue to grow our business. And there's just been so many things along the way that have felt like roadblocks or barriers, and it's like, well, maybe that's just not what it's meant to be. Maybe it's meant to be something different, take a little bit different path. And so far, the food trailer has done phenomenally well.
And that's because you provide something to those who cannot typically have a dessert, like you were saying, those
Absolutely.
who are either gluten-free, they're doing keto, or they have some sort of dietary restriction that eliminates sweet foods, you know, from their diet.
Right.
What are you hearing from your customers? Like, as you continue to navigate, what do you hear from them? And I'm asking this because this is what's keeping you going.
Absolutely, absolutely. Our regulars are fantastic. They follow us with our food trailer wherever we go. And for them, it provides a sense of normalcy to their life, because a lot of times if you do have special dietary restrictions or you have something like diabetes, you have to prepare all of your own food in order to make sure that you're consuming things that aren't going to make it worse. And so for them, it's like they can stop by here and they can grab breakfast items or dinner items or even just dessert. And it's something they don't have to prepare, but they know it's safe for them. And they love it.
And here's a look at the food truck. So if you see the Delectable Sweets food truck out, this is what it looks like. I ran into them a few weeks ago at Old Glory. And so this is just the setup that they have. And again, people stopping by to grab a treat there. What do we have here in front of us today?
So this is one of our most popular savory menu items. This is our carne asada and queso roll. And so what that is we make doughs, but unlike most pizza type doughs that people will make, ours doesn't contain gluten. So our main ingredient is actually going to be mozzarella cheese. It makes it higher fat, higher protein. So it's going to keep you full longer. And then the meat that is in there, we slow cook that carne asada meat with freshly packed California spices. We have them shipped in bi-weekly from California. And then it has fresh chopped peppers and onions, and we enhance the meat with MCT oil so that you're making sure to get some of your healthy fats in there. And then we roll it all up with some shredded queso cheese inside. And so when you bake that, it doesn't look anything like, you know, diet or healthy food, and it's absolutely delicious. And one of those is a full meal. By the time you finish it, because of all that protein in there, you're stuffed.
That's amazing. I'm going to try this. And we were talking before we started the interview, and I was saying I tried to make a keto-friendly dish for a friend of mine, and it did not turn out so good.
Definitely
it's
a lot
really
of,
hard.
it's a lot of trial and error. It's a lot of trial and error. I've spent thousands of dollars refining different recipes or trying recipes only to find out that they were just way off base as far as what was needed
Right.
to make them the right texture. Usually it's a textural thing, especially with gluten-free baking.
Mm-hmm. Normally I take one bite and then I'm just like, I'll wait and do it when the camera's off. But this is amazing.
Isn't that great? So much flavor.
I mean, you can taste the cheese, you can taste the meat, you can taste the peppers. That's wonderful. That is just savory. Savory is the best way I can use to describe that. What are the two sweet dishes that we have?
So one of our most popular cakes that we make, and we now offer it in probably about 16 different flavors, is our ooey gooey butter cakes.
Okay.
And so these are very similar to like a cheesecake square. The main difference is ooey gooey butter cake actually has more butter in it than cream cheese, whereas a cheesecake has more cream cheese in it. And then we also use Vitamin Shop whey protein powder in the crust on these so that it's a dessert that will stick with you. So it's one of those desserts where not only do you not get the sugar crash afterwards, but you're not hungry again in an hour because you've got the protein in there. And then like always, these desserts are sweetened with monk fruit because besides having a zero glycemic impact, monk fruit's actually an anti-inflammatory, so it has health benefits.
That's amazing. And then the last treat.
That's going to be our pumpkin pie ooey gooey cake, and for the season, that is definitely our best selling.
I can imagine. I can also imagine the time that you've put in to research all of these ingredients to make sure that every dish is just right.
Absolutely. A supply shopping trip for a lot of people is just quick, grab stuff off the shelf, throw it in the cart. I actually have to stop and read every label. I have to stop and make sure that it is all gluten-free ingredients, because a lot of times you may not realize just how many ingredients contain gluten or even have added sugars until you take the time to read those labels. So finding new ingredients when I want to create a new dish is very time consuming, because you have all the time shopping and then you have all the time trying to figure out how to get the textures right, how to make sure that the flavors are there. Right. And so it can be challenging, but it's fun, because when you create these things for people who are so appreciative, and to watch their faces light up when they come in and they try samples of our newer items, they're just always so excited.
So how can we continue to support you? How, for those that are thinking, we'll just go right to the store. Again, the store is not active or not as active as it once was. So
Correct.
If you are heading this way from outside of the Clarksville, Montgomery County area, do call first to make sure that they're open.
Absolutely.
But again, if they're not open here at the store, they have the food truck typically out, you said sometimes 7 days a week.
Absolutely. So you can follow us on Street Food Finder app. That will show all of our locations each month, where we're going to be, what times will be set up. And then our Facebook and our Instagram pages, that will not only detail the same information you can find on Street Food Finder, but it'll tell you what days and times will be open at the storefront here.
That's fantastic. And if you want to hear more about Heather's story, tell us why you're not shy about sharing the struggles and everything that you've been through.
I think it's really important for people to understand that we all struggle. We live in a world where a lot of times people only want to share the good in their life, and for good reason. I don't ever want people to look at me like, oh, she only shares the negative, but I believe in sharing the real, because it's one of the things that when people are struggling, it helps them understand that they're not alone, that other people understand that struggle, and hey, look, like if they were able to come past that, then I know I can do that too. I've faced so much, and I'm not even 40 yet. I am a 19-year recovered addict. I dropped out of high school at 17. And some of them were poor choices that I made. Some of them was just how life ended up. But after facing all that, the one thing I saw was the huge difference the people made. The people that were sent to me in that time of need are people I'll never forget. And they changed my life because it made me want more. It made me want to offer more to the world and make that same difference. And so not only is this a place for people who might not necessarily have a place to go food-wise, if you talk to our customers, they'll tell you this is a place that they go when they need to feel happy. When they need a little bit of extra comfort or understanding, they come to us. And I love that. To me, that's one of my favorite parts about the store and about the food trailer is we know that when people need a pick-me-up, they find us.
That they do. Heather, thank you so much for sharing all of that with me, with us. We do appreciate it.
This is Eric Berner with Rockcastle Wealth Advisors. I help people in the pursuit of making their money live as long as they do. People hire me because I use a customized, individualized, and personal approach for the person I'm working with. Everyone's situation is different. If you've lost a spouse or a parent and want to make sure your inheritance is utilized and does not just disappear, I can help with that. Call me at 615-235-1058 or email eric@rockcastlewealth.com.
When I made the decision to host the Plaster and Friends Celebrity Bowling Night, Strike and Spare is where I turned. And what a wise decision that turned out to be. They have 5 locations in our area with family attractions. They're perfect for birthdays, groups and corporate outings, and holiday parties. For more info, it's simple. Go to strikeandspare.com.
A man was critically injured following a crash early Friday morning. Officers at the scene said the victim was driving a pickup truck when he lost control of the vehicle. The pickup veered left and went into a ditch. A front seat passenger was wearing a seatbelt and escaped the crash without injury. The driver was not wearing a seatbelt and was ejected from the truck. He died at the scene. Law enforcement writes tickets to save lives.
Christmas for Kids is back at the Ryman this November 21st. Christmas for Kids provides children with shopping sprees, coats, and unforgettable experiences every year. This annual fundraising concert helps bring that experience to more kids. This year is hosted by Phil Vassar and includes Chris Young. The frontmen, which is Richie McDonald, formerly of Lone Star, Larry Stewart of Restless Heart, Tim Rushlow, formerly of Little Texas, Essex County, and a whole lot more. Christmas for Kids, November 21st. To purchase tickets, go right now to Ryman.com.
This holiday season, the largest lantern event in the country returns to Nashville Zoo. After sunset, come see more than 1,000 Chinese lanterns. All new designs including mythical beasts, a fantastical North Pole village, even a dragon soaring over your head. Welcome back to Zoo Illumination at Nashville Zoo. Bigger, brighter, and better than ever.
Hit After Hit has become the baseball store in Tennessee. They have over 1,000 different models of gloves and over 1,500 wood bats. They also have several Iron Mike pitching machines as well as a Hit Trax machine. If they don't have it, you probably don't need it. We're proud to call Hit After Hit the official shirt provider of the Plaster and Friends Celebrity Bowling Night.
I think I might like this this new music style you got. A little acoustic, kind of sounds a little like maybe Jack Johnson.
Yeah, it's I'm going away from my hardcore hip hop rap career and going more towards that. It's like Eagles, a little waiting in the weeds type.
I'm okay with this. I mean, obviously I like to hear the beat drop a little, but Main Street Sports Today can give you that.
Yeah, there you go. And
So-
you never know when the beat will drop, sir. So
You
might
never
drop-
know. That's so true.
yeah, like what we might got a little something. Yeah, I don't know. That one has people talking, so I just don't know what they're saying. So I don't really want to put that out there. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I hear you. I hear you. You want to be careful.
Yeah.
Trust
I
me.
want to get that explicit rating,
Exactly. We want to make sure
which
that
you can
that's
also
not-
find on Main Street Sport. I'm just kidding.
sometimes.
Store.
Sometimes. Hey, let's take a look at today's
Cyber Monday.
calendar day. It's Cyber Monday.
It is, isn't it? Oh my gosh, what a great reminder. Good call.
So if you're out there and you haven't gotten all of your Christmas shopping done, do it from your couch today.
Yeah, don't move. Don't you dare.
Oh God, I have to tell you the story now. This
What's
is
up?
the I don't love going off on these tangents, but you said it.
You did this.
When I was maybe 10 years old, my grandfather would always like one of the things we would do during over the Christmas holidays is we would go to Christmas basketball tournaments.
Okay.
So I loved going to these high school basketball tournaments, and we would go to this one in Boaz, Alabama, where at the time the local high school that we were supporting was actually playing in it. So there were a lot of people there from from the town where I was, where I'm from. I guess I was 14 because this would have been 98, 99, so 13, 14 years old, something like that. And my granddad and 3 or 4 of his buddies, we would all pile in his Astro van and ride to the games.
Love that.
So we're standing outside after the game, and we're standing out there at the gym, and my granddad was like, all right, I'm going to go get the van. You stay here and you do not move. Okay. So there was this older gentleman who was like, would always come into my family's convenience store. I knew him. He knew me. Like, we know each other. And he said, you hear that? Don't you move. Do not move. And from that day forward, from 1998 until he passed away in 2018, every time he saw me, he looked at me and said, do not move. Don't you move. Every single time I saw him for 20 years.
That other gentleman?
Yeah, the old guy.
It's kind of like
that was
whenever
it was so wild. Like, I mean, and it was always funny
Let it go,
because it's like,
man.
how do you remember that?
For real.
But
That's
every
funny.
time I saw him for 20 years, he would look at me and he'd say, do not move.
Were you ever like over it?
No, like it was
No?
just cool that, he kind of, he
Listen here,
remembered
old
that.
man.
And it was just interesting. I was like, oh, that's hilarious, man.
Start like dancing. I'm move whenever I want.
Because I would just stand there like, still.
That's
Not
so funny.
moving, not
Well, yeah,
moving, Mr. Horse.
It was cool until you started seeing him other places and he was saying that.
It was, I
Then
mean,
it's a little
all
weird.
the time. Literally, he was part of the volunteer fire department.
Oh,
And
you're saying you did see him around?
yeah, no, yeah, for 20 years.
Wow.
Every time I saw him anywhere, he would say, "Don't you move."
That was his thing.
It was really cool. So anyway,
Everybody deserves a thing.
I love that guy. I miss
Yeah.
him, man, when he passed away, but he
Aw.
was a part of the volunteer fire department. Really good dude.
Sounds like it.
But yeah, Cyber Monday. If you are out there and you're having a good time and you're looking to finish up some Christmas shopping, today's a good day to do it. Also, it is National French Toast Day.
French toast?
You ever make French toast?
I've never made it. That looks so good. I mean, I rarely eat French toast, but I like French toast sticks, and they're not a kid thing. Even though you get them from the kids' meal, they are good, and they're a healthy breakfast, and they're in stick form. Same thing. So
Charlie occasionally gets French toast sticks for breakfast when we don't feel like cooking.
But she's a very, very mature for her age. Then
She is. This actually doesn't look that good. I'm going to be honest. It kind of looks
Really?
like cake.
It does, but that's
And-
great. It looks like funnel cake or
No,
banana
but
bread.
I need it to be more
Toasty.
brown.
Okay, but okay. Well, the powdered sugar, you need to add some cinnamon.
No, the topping is fine. I'm talking about the actual bread here is not
Right.
cooked enough.
I think you're right, but it might be perfect.
So 2 things. Here are 2 things that I will tell you. I'm a French toast
Connoisseur.
No, I'm really good at making French toast.
Oh, okay.
So it's
All
one of the reasons that my wife started getting serious
Dating you?
about dating me is when I started cooking for her, and one of the things that I made was French toast.
You're like, give me one meal. Hold on.
Yeah, 2 things. I can hook you up: chicken quesadillas and French toast.
Yo, chicken quesadillas are tough to make too.
You have to have
Make
to know
'em
what
well.
you're doing.
Yeah.
So here's the thing. Number 1, the type of bread you use Texas toast. If you're going to get like a loaf of
Ooh.
bread, you got to get the thick
You already
sliced
got me.
Texas toast. Okay.
You got me.
So, because the
There.
like regular bread's just too thin, it doesn't hold the egg well enough.
Very true.
Then toast your bread in the toaster.
Classic.
Get it a little crispy.
But not
Then dip it in your egg mixture. Then throw it into the skillet. That way the bread doesn't get soggy.
Yo.
So then you take your powdered sugar and you put it into a sifter, and you just kind of you tap the side of the sifter so that the powdered sugar falls on.
Right.
You can top it with some fresh fruit if you'd like, but of course you've got to have the syrup.
Yep.
Throw that maple syrup on there, and you are good to go.
Man, you just gave away all your secrets. But that's perfect. You just
I already got a wife. I don't need another one.
I feel you. It's like, yeah, I'll still do it for her. It'll be fine.
Yeah, I'll stick with it. It's at this point, we might as well go with it.
So I guess me not being so well versed in the French toast world, this looks good to the mediocre French toast getter. But to you, you're a master. So you have a higher bar.
I would just say that this just looks like it's undercooked, and I'm not a fan of salmonella.
I feel that you're reaching into your French toast bag.
I really am. It's not because this seems to be undercooked. Therefore,
I'm not a hater.
Yeah, I'm not like.
You're right.
It does aesthetically look good.
Thank you,
but I don't think I would eat it.
I bet that's not even real syrup, because you know how they'll put like different things in for like. I bet it's not even real.
Every burger you've ever seen on a picture at a fast food restaurant,
it's like a hockey puck.
No, exactly. No,
and milk in every cereal commercial you think that looks so scrumptious, it's glue.
Yep.
It's Elmer Fudd's glue.
Elmer Fudd.
Is that what it is? Elmer's.
Oh, I love it. Elmer Fudd.
I think Fudd is not on there.
That's awesome. I
TV.
love that. Elmer Fudd's glue. That's exactly who it belongs to. Dadgummit. He's hunting wabbits with his glue gun.
Business wasn't booming in the acting world, so he branched out, used his business savvy, got some glue.
Oh, that's hilarious. So, looking ahead to this week, we've got Terry McCormick. He's going to join us tomorrow. It's going to be a great week. Hopefully, we can get Mrs. Cheap on. I really want to get Mary to come on and talk about her holiday gift guide. If not, we will find one. We will still go through it either way. If we can't get her on, we'll still go through her holiday guide. But yes, it's going to be a great week. Hope you guys enjoy it. Thank you guys for being here with us on Mornings on Main Street. Justin,
yes.
Chris, see you later.
See y'all.